I could have your attention, we'll go ahead and get our meeting started and get everything called to order. It's nice to see everyone this afternoon on this Monday. I hope you've all stayed dry for the last couple of days. There's been a lot of rain and flowers are growing, and hopefully fall is right around the corner. I'd like to take a moment to introduce Pastor Sergio Reyes. Pastor Reyes, if you'd like to come to the podium, we always like to start our council meetings with a quick invocation. And it's very important to all of us that we start our meetings with prayer, and we take that very seriously. Jessica Jones White, is our city clerk, and Jessica contacts various pastors in the community, various denominations, backgrounds, to come and provide our invocations. So if there's anyone who is a member of a church that you would like for Jessica to reach out to, just let us know, and we'd love to have your pastor come and present our invocation. So Pastor Reyes, I'll turn it over to you, and following your invocation, then we'll stand and salute the flag. So Pastor Reyes.
Gracias por la invitación.
Thanks for the invitation.
Y Dios los bendiga a todos.
God bless every one of y'all.
Es mi primera vez que estoy aquí,
This is my first time being here,
pero yo quiero orar esta tarde
and I want to pray this
en el
afternoon
nombre de
in
Jesús.
the name of Jesus.
Amén.
Amen.
Pero antes
But before,
quiero leer un salmo,
I want to read a Psalms.
Salmo 23.
Psalms 23.
Dice: Jehová es mi pastor, nada me faltará, en lugares de delicados pastos me hará descansar, junto a aguas de reposo me pastoreará, confortará mi alma, me guiará por sus sendas de justicia, por amor a su nombre. Aunque ande en valle de sombra de muerte, no temeré mal alguno, porque tú estarás conmigo, tu vara y tu cayado me fundirán aliento. Endereza mesas delante de mí, en presencia de mis angustiadores. Unges mi cabeza con aceite, mi copa está rebosando. Ciertamente el bien y la misericordia me guiarán en todos los días de mi vida. En la casa de Jehová moraré por todos los días.
He read from Psalm 23, 1 to verse 6. So
Vamos a orar.
we'll pray.
Bendito Dios, te damos gracias, Señor, por estar aquí una vez más en este lugar, Señor. Yo te pido en el nombre de nuestro Señor Jesucristo, Padre, que tú guíes esta junta, Señor. Esta junta que tú has puesto aquí, Señor, para el bien de tu pueblo, Señor, que tú los guíes, Padre, que tu Espíritu Santo sea que les dé sabiduría y entendimiento, Padre. Gracias, Señor, porque sé que lo que están haciendo aquí, lo están haciendo en tu nombre, Padre. Gracias por todo lo que estás haciendo, Señor. Bendice, Padre, a todos los que estamos aquí, Señor. Bendice, Padre, a todo el país de Estados Unidos, Señor. Bendice, Padre, a sus gobernantes, a su presidente. Bendice, Padre amado, Señor, América, Señor, en el nombre de Jesucristo te ruego, Padre amado, Señor, que tú seas el que te manifiestes hoy en esta reunión, Padre. Te damos la honra y la gloria porque tú estás aquí, Señor, en medio de todos nosotros, Señor, y alabado y bendecido sea tu nombre por todos los siglos de los siglos. Amén y amén. Gloria a Dios. Les quiero decir que mi nombre es, ya lo dijeron, mi nombre es Sergio Reyes.
He said, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sergio Reyes.
Y me siento un poco nervioso de estar
And
aquí,
I'm a little nervous being here
porque nunca había estado en una reunión tan importante como esta,
because I've never been in a meeting as important as this one.
porque yo sé que aquí están haciendo cosas para bien para el pueblo de Tipton, Georgia.
Because I know that here the good things come for the town of Tifton.
Yo quiero que el Señor los siga dando sabiduría y los bendiga.
I want God to keep blessing y'all and giving y'all
Todo lo que hagan sea para la honra y gloria de Dios
and that everything that we do here is for the honor and glory of God
y para su pueblo que está aquí también.
and for His town.
Yo llevamos 10 años,
We have 10 years.
Pues ahí por la 82 tenemos una iglesia
Alongside Highway 82, we have a church there.
y pues ahí estoy, 10 años llevo de pastor
I've been pastor there for 10 years.
y pues he tratado en estos tiempos difíciles que estamos pasando,
And in these times that are very difficult that we're going through,
estoy tratando de darle palabra de aliento a mi iglesia, a mi congregación, animarlos porque son tiempos muy difíciles que estamos pasando.
I am trying to guide my congregation to the best of my ability in these tough times that we come upon us.
La semana pasada perdí a mi papá y mi mamá del COVID. El mismo día murieron los dos en el hospital de Tipton, Georgia.
Last week, I lost my mom and my dad, same day to COVID, in the hospital in Tifton.
Pero yo, a pesar de todo eso, yo le sigo dando la honra y la gloria a Dios,
But even all through that, I still give God the glory
porque Él es bueno
because He is good.
y un día todos nos vamos a ir para el cielo.
And one day we will all go to heaven.
Que el Señor los bendiga a todos
God bless every one of y'all.
y cuando me necesiten, aquí estoy.
And if y'all ever need me again, I'm here.
Y si algún día ustedes quieren visitar mi congregación,
And if y'all one day y'all want to go visit my congregation,
van a ser
y'all are
bienvenidos.
more than welcome to.
No importa del color que seamos,
Doesn't matter the color,
pero somos hijos de un solo
but
Dios
we are all God's
que
children.
reina
And He
por
lives
todos los siglos de los siglos
forever and ever.
y que viva Cristo.
And God live forever.
Que el Señor los bendiga. Amén.
Thank you so much. Pastor Reyes, if you'll share it with your father, how terribly sorry we are about the loss of your parents. So we will keep you in our prayers as well. And it was a beautiful prayer, and we're very thankful for you coming tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you all will please stand, and we will face the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, sir. Good. It's good to see you. All right. They should have your computer all set for you, so you good to go?
Good to go.
Excellent. All right. Gentlemen, you have before you the agenda that Jessica has sent out to us to review, and I will take a motion concerning that agenda.
So moved.
All right, to approve the agenda as presented. Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have 2 seconds. Thank you so much. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, Jessica's also sent out the minutes from our last couple of meetings, so you've had a chance to review those. So I'll take a motion concerning approving those minutes as submitted unless there are any changes that need to be made.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Terrell, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Jessica, do we have any public comments? Did anyone want to speak to the council this evening? We do ask that you sign up at the podium back here if you do. Nobody? Okay. All right. Our first item on our agenda, and we do have extra agendas that are at the podium if anyone would like to grab one and follow along. We have a couple of presentations, and I'm going to come down front and for the first presentation. And all of her folks she has brought with her that feel comfortable joining me to come up front and join me up front. We have a proclamation for Adult Education and Family Literacy Week. Are we good, Jonathan? Is there, you good here? Okay. So I'm going to read the proclamation, and then I'll sign it and present it to you. So we just appreciate very much the work that you do. This is a proclamation proclaiming Adult Education and Family Literacy Week, and our proclamation says, whereas approximately 1 in 5 adults cannot read or write, in Georgia roughly 1 million adults over the age of 18 have not completed high school or received a high school equivalency credential, whereas literacy rates are highest among the economically disadvantaged and are closely associated with unemployment, high crime rates, and welfare dependency. And by promoting adult education and family literacy, we can ensure that all attempting parents or guardians are prepared to help their children learn to read medicine bottles, navigate public transportation, practice comparative shopping, make correct change and complete school homework, and increasing public awareness of literacy rates can alleviate illiteracy, while also supporting and strengthening workplace, school, and volunteer literacy programs on the state, national, and local levels. And whereas 18% of the adults in the city of Tifton lack a high school diploma or GED certificate, and residents of Tifton benefit from the adult education services offered by Southern Regional Technical College and literacy volunteers of Tifton, Tift County, which include basic reading and math skills instruction, GED test preparation, GED test fee scholarships, and English language instruction. And whereas the community support of adult education and family literacy helps to improve the quality of life in Tifton, we are proud to join efforts in celebrating International Literacy Day. And now therefore I, Julie Smith, Mayor of the City of Tifton, do hereby proclaim September the 20th, 2021 as Literacy Day, and September 19th through the 25th, 2021 as Adult Education and Family Literacy Week in Tifton, Georgia. Our city clerk has prepared this. The city seal is on the proclamation, and I'm going to sign it. And then I'm going to present this to Bonnie. And Bonnie, I would love for you to introduce our guests and share a few words with all the work that you do, because I know that you've taught lots of folks, lots of things. So I'll let you make those introductions. And then I think, did you want Jessica to take a picture with your phone? Or you want to just get those first? Okay, yeah, first and first send those to you. So let me present this to you and say thank you for the work that you do. And then I'll let you have a few minutes to say a few words about what that is.
Okay, here we go. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce also Andy Simonis here. I've changed my role from being the Director of Literacy to now I'm the President of the Board of Literacy.
Oh, wow.
So we do have a board for literacy volunteers in Tifton, Tift County. And so I accept this on behalf of the Literacy Board, but also I am an instructor of English language at Southern Regional Technical College, Adult Education. And Andy Simonis here is our Director of Adult Education for the entire all the campuses, 11 campuses of Southern Regional Technical College. So he's over here from Thomasville. So we appreciate this opportunity, but these are my students. I'm so proud of them that they are able to come tonight. This is a field trip for them, so they're getting attendance credit for attending. Would you like to say your name and where you're from? Loudly.
Hi, my name is Beatriz. I am from Chile.
Good.
My name is David. I'm from
She graduated from Tift County High School, so she's been in Tifton a while.
Hello, my name is Angela. I'm from Mexico.
Hello, my name is Stephanie and I'm from Mexico. Hi, my name is Brenda. I'm from Guatemala. Hello, my name is Claire Mondragon. I am from Mexico.
My name is Giovanni Costa. I'm from Mexico.
Hi, my name is Nino. I'm from India.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you coming tonight, and appreciate the work that you're doing with Bonnie and with her programs. You will greatly enhance our community by your service and your participation. So thank you very, very much for what you're doing and for the steps that you're taking to improve your education. So thank you for that. Thank you, Bonnie.
Go ahead and have a seat. We're going over here. Good job.
All right, the next item on our agenda is an overview of the city's newly redesigned website. So Jonathan, are you going to take us through that? And Kirsten, okay.
Thank you very much. When I started in February of last year with the city, one of the first things I wanted to tackle was our website. We had the same one for quite some time. If you recall, there was a very simple homepage. There wasn't a lot of interaction. So we decided to take that on. Jonathan and I worked for months. We vetted all the different companies. We did demos. It was very interesting. Then it came to choosing who we chose, which was Civic Plus, and they are the best of the best. We also got to choose the color palette. We went back and forth on that of the colors that we wanted and the aesthetic that it gave, and I hope you'll be pleased with what we've selected. Last month, it went live. We kind of did it quietly to make sure everything was going to go well and the quirks were going to work out, so we have our beautiful Tifton.net. The photo at the top changes with different photos that we've selected.
So there's just a few key items. I don't know how familiar you are with our last page, if y'all have looked at it and those types of things. Really the biggest difference that we wanted to do is we wanted to modernize the page a little bit. Kirsten had a number of ideas and things that she wanted to do to try to modernize the actual page, get some more Facebook feeds, get some of those types of things kind of on the site a little bit more. And basically they're now directly available right on the front page. And we also have a number of these links throughout the site. So if there's different pages, the senior center, the police department, fire department that have different social media pages, those are actually already on their pages as well as the main cities page. But there's several little designs and things that Kirsten wanted to be able to employ that we were not able to do with our previous vendors. So we basically kind of revamped everything and kind of went through it. It is still a process. It is still a work in progress. There are still some things, if you go to different pages, it'll look almost exactly like the old page in some sites where we just have not gone in and completely updated that page to this point. But we are continuing to develop and continuing to add different pieces and items and things that we have at our disposal for the new site. Any questions? I mean, I can take you through a couple of different pages.
Go through the report and issue page.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one of those areas.
If there's ever an issue.
Now just.
That'll be great education.
So I do want to apologize. My driving is a little bit sluggish from up here. But if you click on report an issue, we actually have the ability to create a number of different items. I know that's a little bit harder to read from here, but we can create different categories and different items where you can actually click on one of these. Let's see if I can actually get to one of them. And you can actually click the report an item, and you have an option. The biggest thing here is you have an option. If you create an account, you can then kind of say monitor that. It will depend on kind of how we fully implement that process, but you can create an item if you have a login and be able to see the status. We'll have to make sure that process is working in the back end. That's one of those that we're working to develop. But as it sits right at this moment, if you wanted to report an issue, and I completely lost my mouse, you can go right here and click proceed as guest, if it will let me. Yeah, click proceed as guest there. And so now you actually have a window here where you can actually fill in all the information, what kind of issue it was, where was it. You can attach pictures and things like that for these particular types of issues. And again, that would automatically be routed to the appropriate department or individuals that would be responsible for that particular type of an issue. So that's where we've got some options where we can advance this even more. Right now it's just kind of basic. But that's the intent, where you fill this out, it at least will directly go to an email to the right individual, the right department to address the situation.
And of course, as we do that, and right now we're kind of in the troubleshooting, let's make sure, it's going to take some education and letting people know, that it's possible. But I think it could be a really great tool.
Sure, that's amazing. We've never had that ability that I'm aware of to do this way. So that's really good.
I love it.
That was part of your goals, if you remember,
Yes.
See, Click, Fix.
Yes.
And that was one of the things that we wanted to implement within the website so people could get used to on the mobile phone. But what Kirsten is pushing for is that we're linked on all fronts, meaning all social media. Anybody that pulls it up, they should be able to see everything that we do. The other thing is working with the DDA, making sure that all the sites look the same.
Right.
We were a little inconsistent when it came to that, but now everything matches, and I think anybody that wants to come and observe will be, you know, very, very well educated and can navigate pretty quickly.
And the same company is also working on one for downtown Tifton as well.
Oh, good.
It will have a directory with our businesses, of course, calendars with all the events. So we're very excited. A lot of great new things.
That's great. This is really, it really is good looking. I mean, it is much simpler to,
Yeah.
it's much cleaner, I guess, is what I'm
And
trying to
we
say.
tried to also make it vibrant and bright.
Yes.
Have lots of different colors to distinguish between the different buttons. Make the buttons easy, and these buttons are on every single page that you'll go to down kind of at the
Right.
bottom. If they're not on the main page, they're kind of scroll down a little bit, so you have very easy access wherever you are. One of the other items that we kind of did not have before in an easy method was this notify me section. So it's really just a place where, again, if you can register, for lack of a better term, put in an email address, and then you can choose, I want to be notified every time the agendas are posted, every time a calendar item pops up. So you can be notified via text messages or emails for different items. Again, not all of those have been fully developed and built out, but the intent is there that when we start getting more of these items, we can certainly do more with it.
Well, I'm very impressed. Yes. So, good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So more to come. If you're on your computer, if you want to scroll through that, please let us know if you have any comments. But we're not done yet. So thank you too for
Yes.
it's been a long process and we've been working on it a long time. But we'll continue to share as we update.
Right. Well, and this is not for us necessarily, but for our residents and businesses and visitors, and to make the city of Tifton as user-friendly as possible, as transparent as possible, so that we can hear your concerns, we can address your concerns, so that you can have a one-stop shop to find information, to answer your questions. Of course, you can always call us anytime that you'd like to, but this will greatly enhance our ability to communicate with our constituents. And so, so pat on the back to both of you for a very good job. Does anyone have any questions or any specific comments or anything? Looks very good, so thank you. Thank you both. Okay, I am going to go back down to the front to the podium, and we have a couple of new board members that we're going to be swearing in this evening. And you've heard us all say before how important it is that we have citizen involvement. We depend upon our citizens to help us with various boards and commissions and authorities that we ask people to serve on. And so I'm very thankful this evening that we have two volunteers who are going to be serving on two of our very important boards. One is the Historic Preservation Commission, and then the other is the Tifton County Public Library Board. So if Ms. Louise Woodham, if you would come up front with me, and then we'll have our swearing in. We greatly appreciate your service, Louise, very much so. So it's pretty painless. I'll read the oath of office, and then at the end of that, you'll just say that you do pledge to or swear or whatever you're comfortable with. And the oath of office says that I, Louise Woodham, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission of this city, and that you will support and defend the Charter of the City of Tifton, as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia and the United States of America. That you shall attend all meetings of the body to which you are being appointed unless providentially hindered. That you shall abide by the standards for conflicts of interest adopted by the City Council and the rules of disclosure applicable thereto. Unless disqualified by the standards for conflicts of interest, that you will actively participate in the decisions of the body to which you are being appointed. And that you will attend at city expense any training mandated by the state of Georgia. And that you would also attend the schedule of any special training arranged by the city. Do you affirm? Thank you. You're done. Thank you so much. All right, Jessica, there's that. And now I would like to ask Ms. Charlotte Plessman to come forward. Charlotte? We'll go through the same process. So it's pretty painless. All right, so your oath of office is that you, Charlotte Plessman, do solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully and impartially perform the duties as a member of the Tifton County Public Library Board of this city, and that you will support and defend the Charter of the City of Tifton, as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America, that you shall attend all meetings of the body to which you are being appointed unless providentially hindered, that you shall abide by the standards for conflicts of interest adopted by the City Council and the rules of disclosure applicable thereto, and unless disqualified by the standards for conflicts of interest, you shall actively participate in all decisions of the body to which you are being appointed, and that you shall attend at city expense any training mandated by the state of Georgia, and that you shall also attend and schedule any special training arranged by the city. Do you affirm?
I do.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Again, just want to say thank you to these two very generous citizens of our community. We appreciate your service. And if anyone is interested in serving on any of our boards, you can just contact Jessica White, our city clerk. She can tell you what boards we have available. I'm sure that information's on our website. Kirsten? Okay. And again, we greatly appreciate the volunteerism of the folks in our community that help us to conduct the business of the city. All right. On my spot here. The next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. We can take these collectively for discussion, or we can take them individually. Pete, is there anything we need to talk about individually, or?
No, the only thing I will add is that I did meet with the city of Nashville,
Okay.
Interim manager, and he is confident that the elected officials think highly of the gas system and this contract.
Okay.
And it is hopefully their desire to continue with that. So we talked about the price and we talked about the contract itself, but there was no negative. So I think they're going to move forward
Everything's
with it.
good to move forward. Okay.
I move we approve all four.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we have a motion for approval of all of those items that we've discussed at our workshop. So is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Wes. Any further discussion on any of these items? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so that does all of the items on the consent agenda do pass. Under our new business categories, Pete, you want to talk to us about the bids that we received on our community development block grant program with the new youth center?
I will, and if you remember, we had three bidders, the low bid being, oh goodness, Harper and Company out of Douglas. They have great experience with this, but the total price came in well above what we had budgeted and what was estimated through the architect. So we did meet. There was a group of us that met this past week and discussed this challenge with him, and he already had a listing, 2 pages of items that he thinks that would be value-added reductions that we could do and changes that we can make that won't change the building aesthetically, but would make a huge difference in pricing. So he's going to take that listing, and we are scheduled to meet again next week. He's going to put his list with some figures, and hopefully we'll be close to where we started with. So looking at it, there were simple changes. The architect agreed with it, so I feel pretty confident that we'll definitely close that spread. And try to get just as much as we can with that building. So when I have that number, then I'll be bringing that back to you and make a final decision on how we're going to go forward.
Okay.
I know you probably talked with Senator Ossoff's staff. Is there any amount of money that we could get to try to close that gap? This is
Since we've
the
already,
need is huge.
yeah, now they are looking to find us lots of pots of money for other projects. On this particular project, because we've already received the Community Development Block Grant, which is a federal grant that runs through the state, that project is kind of capped off as far as the construction cost. Now, they're looking at all sorts of options for us to provide assistance potentially with outfitting the building, with potential programs and things like that. We specifically talked about affordable housing. We specifically talked about continuing the infrastructure conversation. They understand that the needs are quite significant. So they're having several of their different staff people reach out to different people within the community. For example, the person that works with schools and issues particularly with schools and education, is reaching out to Superintendent Hathaway. They wanted Pete's contact information to be able to talk to him about specific infrastructure challenges and things like that. So they'll be reaching out to other people in the community over the course of the next couple of weeks to start to pull together all the assistance that's available to us for our urban redevelopment area and the city of Tifton in general. So, but unfortunately, because we have, well, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, because we have already received the Community Development Block Grant, that's really all that we have access to on the construction part of it. So, but they're very interested in coming back for another visit, another roundtable discussion. So we'll have lots more conversations with this team, and I'd love to have Senator Warnock and Representative Scott and you know, any of our other elected officials that would like to be a part of that conversation continue to work with us so that we make sure that we're one, that they understand what's happening within our community, we as their constituents, but also to make sure that we have access to any funding or resources that would help with our residents and our businesses in our community. So.
It's a huge deal. I don't want to shortchange this thing.
I know.
You know, I don't want to spend a lot of money and say, well, if we'd had another, you know, $50,000, we really could have done this or that. So that, I mean, we'll leave it to Pete to figure that out. But,
there's been some great work so far from some board members, actually. For instance, that we had the HVAC system donated. So those are big ticket items, and again, we're putting together a list of things that we could chip off that hopefully may be donated or provided.
And Astro wants to do the soil treatment, you know, the termite soil treatment. They're donating that, and pest control services. And MJ has some contact with some people who are donating some furniture and different things. Cindy Evers' group wants to, the children, I can't think of the name of the group that she, no, not Called to Care. It's sort of like CASA. She works with children's group. Anyway, they want to donate games and things like that. So, and the morning of the groundbreaking, I had several of the pastors in the area that had come to the groundbreaking came and said that they wanted to help with any programming and things. So I think as it comes up out of the ground and we start to see what we have, I think we're going to see more and more people want to come in and help partner, you know, be a partner with us in making sure that this is something that is beneficial to the whole community. So,
good.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments regarding the review of bids or about the actual youth center project?
Mayor,
Yes.
I put, if you see this paper, it has a suggested motion, just because this is federal funding, to make some type of action for the negotiation.
Did I miss that?
We'll put it on until next meeting. I'll make.
Well, I didn't see it.
It's on your, it's on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you set it up here at my spot. I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha. Here, Jessica, I don't want to take your copy. Okay, so you need a motion to, a suggested motion that we authorize the city manager to negotiate with the lowest bidder, Harper and Company Builders Incorporated, to value engineer the project within budget. So we need that motion. So that's what you're. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have that motion on the floor. Is there a second? All right, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, Emily, where's Emily? Is Emily here?
I'll take that one,
You're
Mayor.
taking that one? Okay,
Yeah, I sure will. From the work session till now, we did receive our documentation this is annually from Heating Energy Assistance Team, better known as HEAT. This is with the Natural Gas Department, and HEAT is a great program that goes around the state and works with local governments to help those that cannot help or not pay their heating bills. So this is it's an organized event that happens again yearly, but it's a great team that works hard, and City of Tifton's been a member or participated in this for years. So I wanted to make sure that you were okay that that we would back this. There's a sample letter that we send out to in our cycles for utility customers if they want to help this coming winter with families that's in the way of supporting heat for natural gas, that we do this. And again, this has been repetitive year after year, so I want to make sure that you were all okay with that.
Very beneficial
it's a
program.
Great program.
Okay. All right, so I will need a motion to approve our participation in the Heating Energy Assistance Team, or HEAP program, again this year.
Make a motion.
Okay, thank you, MJ. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Johnny. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that carries. All right, I know we've been talking about fees for some time, and in our packet is our resolution with the fee changes. Anything you need to go back over, Pete?
No, ma'am, unless there's, some questions. Again, I did communicate on September 16th to the county manager, and to date, I have not received a response from him on this, so I don't know if there's any other comments, and if you want to talk about tonight, or if there's any postponed. There's a number of just things that we need to update on an annual basis as far as rates, but we were talking about the water and sewer one when it comes to the county. So with that, I'll entertain how you want to move forward.
And your email was strictly for information. I mean,
Right.
we're the administrators of the water and sewer, and so we just notify them because as an administrator, rates need to go up.
Right.
11 years later on water and 3 years on sewer. That's
Right.
quite honestly a shame on us for not doing something sooner.
Okay.
We haven't heard from the county manager. That's what people said, but I have heard from a couple of council or commissioners and whatnot, and they brought up some valid points to some of what they were saying. We are in this lawsuit, and one of their points being that the rate discrepancy is, one of their points, and I don't know if that feeds the fuel, or feeds the fire, excuse me, if we're adding fuel to the fire, whatever the cliche is, on that. And, when you look at the 5%, while that is 5% for the city and 5% for the county, the rates are, the dollars or the cents, it's really a cents thing, is not equal. You will pay more. And I think that was what their point was. And so, I just think that there needs to be more discussion had on this.
Do you want
topic.
to, since that's their comment, do you want to address we went to them and said we will equalize rates?
We did. We did.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of research and analysis, and our rate is the lowest of like 15 cities in the area. And the other thing that I found was most of these cities, so the cities that did have water departments, they had different rates. Inside the city and the unincorporated areas, and they were different. That was the norm. It was an exception if they were the same. So that is not uncommon. It's the way it's been. The county commissioners have been after us about that. A lot of it came down to ownership of the system. That's what started this lawsuit. This water system was built on the backs of the city taxpayers. This was a city of Tifton water system. Okay, county had their own rules, whatever it was out there. So for whatever reason, they tried to join the two, and that's when it became joint. Those that were involved in the city at that point have told me since then, wrong decision. Shouldn't have been done. Consolidation was being looked at. Shouldn't have happened. Okay, so that's why we decided we were going to separate, and that's what started this lawsuit. The water rates to me don't have anything to do with it. The county complains about it, but they've said in more than one service delivery contract that the rates aren't arbitrary. They signed that, they admitted that, and it said that. That's what the form said. So, to me, I did have the discussion. We had offered to settle this whole lawsuit, get out of it, if we would equalize and work it out. Did not happen. I had a discussion too about it. They're not opposed to raising it because 11 years later, and to wait till the lawsuit, which could be a year or 2 years or whatever. So anyway, I think we should move forward.
I just think that more discussion just needs to be had. Now, I agree with the other fees now, you know, I mean, the other fees are what they are, the land disturbance fees, the restriction, the tap fees. The tap fees are all, no matter if you're a city resident or a county resident, you get a new tap, a 3/4 inch meter, for instance, the price is gonna increase to $630. So, I mean, all of that is, you know, hourly rates, so that's nothing. I mean, I'm okay with those. It's just the actual base rate and the consumption rates is what I guess more discussion needs to be had. And that's why I was going to make a motion to approve the fees as presented, with the exception of maybe tabling the water and sewer rates indefinitely.
Okay, so are you say you were going to, do you want to make that as your motion?
I would like to make that motion.
Okay. So we've heard Councilman Ayler's motion, approving everything but setting those aside for further discussion. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll make a second to that motion so I can get a better understanding of what I'm saying.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. So we'll call for the vote that you have made the motion for. All those in favor of approving the rates with the exception of the water and sewer rates, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Nay. So, Johnny, I'm sorry, did you vote yea or nay?
Yeah.
You voted to,
Yeah.
you want to approve the fees with the exception of the water and sewer?
Right.
Okay. So there's a 3-2 vote, so we'll approve the fees.
Approve the fees, and let's continue the discussion. I don't want this to go away, but let's continue the discussion, and we can move forward, you know, if there's going to be a rate increase or whatnot.
Do you mind sharing specifically what you want to discuss, or would you rather that be a conversation with Pete?
I mean, it could be, I mean, publicly, what I would like to say is I know that we have discussed this with the attorneys, and they have responded with some questions, and Pete responded back to them, but we haven't received that response after he responded to their questions. I'd like to see that. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I would like to sit down with those attorneys as well, and Pete and I can do that in the next meeting. If I'm satisfied with what they say, we could all come back and we can discuss this at a later time, but, you know, I mean, there's just a lot more information I need to personally obtain before I can make a clean decision, and I think it sounds like 2 other council members besides myself are in the same situation.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll let you have that conversation with Pete, and I don't know what else there is to discuss, but y'all can find something to. It has been talked out. All right. So Pete, you city manager report.
Just a few things, Mayor. I'll be sending out a calendar invite, but the Legislative Appreciation Breakfast is coming up Thursday, September 30th, so I'll get that out to everybody. And then paving, is Jeff still here? Jeff West? Paving, October 1st.
October 1st.
So right now, the paving will start October 1st, and we have made it clear to the contractor that the first street that will be paved is Carpenter Road. So there is no discussion about that. I did receive some calls regarding about that, but that has been their instructions. Is
That'll
that
make
right,
your
Jeff?
constituents happy.
So the county.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the county.
I got a text message on that.
So I wanted to make sure that everybody heard that loud and clear, but we are on, again, there's 2 different contractors. We're using one, they're using another. So, but that road, that section in the county is being paved, and then we're going to pick it up from there, and they're going to do the part in the city. So I wanted to confirm that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, perfect. All right, we are coming to a close. Before we go into mayor and council comments, is there any need, Pete or Rob, for executive session tonight?
No, I mean, we could probably just go briefly into executive session for personnel matters.
Okay. Okay, all right. All right, let's go through mayor and council comments very quickly. Does anybody want to go first?
Oh, I'll go first. Stay seated. I don't have any comments tonight.
Wow. All right.
It's a miracle. The pastor has brought a true miracle to this.
I'm quiet, so I need.
Do you mind if I say something about what's going on with you? Would that be okay if I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to say without. I do want to ask that you all please keep Councilman Terrell in your prayers. He's had a stroke recently, and so he's having a hard time, difficulty speaking. And fortunately, he has some speech therapists that are going to be coming in and working with him. So please keep him, and more importantly, probably Diane, his wife, in your prayers. John, we're very thankful that you're here with us. We're thankful that things weren't worse than they were, but know that we're here for you if you need anything. So thank you. So you're in our thoughts and prayers. MJ or Wes, either one want to go next?
I'll just second your comments about John.
Okay.
Whenever you need something, holler at us.
Yes, please.
And I'll just third comments for Johnny and anybody else that's in the city of Tifton. We hope everybody stay well as much as possible and, keep on pushing along.
Absolutely. Pete, would it be out of line to ask for an update on our fire chief? What? Oh, would it be out of line to ask for an update on our fire chief, on his health?
Yes, okay. So Chief Bennett is home.
Good.
And he is feeling good. That's what he is telling me, in good spirits. So he's on the mend. So I anticipate him being back to work tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And he doesn't, at this time, doesn't have any restrictions.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's really good. I'll close things out with just, again, I just want to say to Kirsten and to Jonathan, thank you so much for the work on the website. You took our concerns and our request and the needs of our residents and businesses, and you've incorporated that, and it's a good looking website. I think it will be very user friendly, so just want to say thank you to both of you for your hard work and continuing to work on that to make that accessible for everybody. All right, that concludes our meeting. So just before we draw everything to a close, I will need a motion to go into executive session for personnel reasons. All right, MJ, is there a second? Johnny, second. All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Our meeting is adjourned. We will go into executive session after about a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back.